You work hard, save for years, buy a multi-crore apartment in India's top cities. But the moment you step out, reality hits. Choked or potholed roads, flooded underpasses, garbage piles, and God help if it rains. Monsoons are over, wait, here comes toxic air. And property prices in all these cities, whether it's Gurgaon, Bengaluru, Mumbai, are skyrocketing. And the basic infrastructure, roads, drainage, sewage, is worsening by the year. Now this is no more just an inconvenience. It comes across as a betrayal, doesn't it? That's because 25% plus of what you pay for that 2, 5, 10 crore home goes straight to the state government in taxes. Yes, you heard that right. More than 1/4 of what you pay for a home is pocketed by the state. What do you get in return? Creaking infrastructure, broken promises, and zero accountability. Now, Indian cities rank amongst the worst urban infrastructure in the world. And this shouldn't be the case given the taxes you cough up. So where is your money really going? Let's get real. We'll start with the hidden taxes baked into your home prices. Now, before even a single brick is laid, developers have to pay a long list of fees to urban local bodies. All of this is quietly passed on to you, the home buyer. First come the licensing and approval fees. Now, this includes CLU, which is change of land use charges, licensing fee depending on the project type, plan sanction fee, fire, environment and pollution, NOCs for high-rise buildings. Extra charges also apply for purchasing additional FAR under TDR or TOD, and it's the same in Bengaluru and Mumbai. Now, next up are development charges, IDC and EDC. That's internal and external development charges. Now, builders paid, but again, it's a pass-through to you. In Gurgaon, this goes straight to the Haryana government's Department of Town and Country Planning, which is DTCP. On paper, this fee is meant to build your infrastructure, roads, sewage, drainage, street lights, waste systems. Now, problem is that all of these are in a shambles, and you know as well as I do. Cars are submerged, commuters are stuck for hours after a single spell of rain. People lose their lives drowning in open potholes even. How do I explain how much of the money goes to you? Let me make it simple. Now, if a builder sells you a 25,000 rupee per square foot apartment, about 500 rupees per square feet of this amount, which is about 2%, is EDC and IDC that flows directly to the government. Now, 2% doesn't sound like much, but let's scale it up. Say a residential project has 800 apartments averaging about 2,000 square feet each. For each apartment, you're paying 10 lakh rupees straight to DTCP. That's 80 crores for just one project. Now multiply that by, let's say, 25 projects in any particular micro market, and you're looking at 2,000 crore rupees just going for infrastructure that is supposed to come to you when you buy an apartment in any micro market. The images that we are flashing right now are from one micro market of Gurgaon, which is Golf Course Extension. These are real pictures of stinking garbage, roads which are potholed, and waterlogged stretches. So the question that begs an answer, where is this 2,000 crore rupees going? In Bengaluru, the terminology changes, so there is no EDC or IDC, but you still pay a development fee and betterment charges to their municipal corporation, BBMP and BDA, for providing you exactly the same amenities and infrastructure. In Mumbai, it comes in the form of development charges and infrastructure premiums, and it goes straight to the BMC or Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Now, that's not all. There is one another line tax built into your home price. 1% labor cess on the construction cost. Now, this is meant to fund state-run building and other construction workers' welfare boards with very noble goals of providing healthcare, maternity support, education for workers, children, housing, pensions, insurance. Now, nobody wants to fight or quibble about paying this 1%. The only problem is the money is not being used as it should. Now, since the Act was implemented in 2005, over 1,70,000 crore rupees has been collected across states as labour cess for construction workers. Guess what? As of reported figures in 2024, nearly 70,000 crore or more than 50% was lying idle or unutilized. So yes, you're also paying into a welfare scheme that barely reaches the workers who build your home. And when you combine all of the above, which is licensing and approval fees, development premiums, FSI, IDC, EDC, betterment charges, infrastructure levies and labour cess, you're looking at 15% plus of your total apartment cost silently embedded in your base price depending on which address you buy in. So these were the taxes which are baked in, invisible. Now you add the visible or obvious taxes that you know of. Starting with GST on under construction homes, 5% applied on 2/3 of the apartment cost. Then comes the stamp duty and registration. Now in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Haryana, this adds another 5 to 7% of your flat cost. And stamp duty plus registration charges in India are amongst the highest in the world. Truth is, when you do the cumulative numbers, upwards of 25% or 1/4 of the price of your multi-crore apartment is pocketed by the government. Now, according to industry bodies like CREDAI, this number is as high as 35%. And also remember, on the top of these taxes and inbuilt state levies, you will continue to pay an annual property tax for the rest of your life. The billion-rupee question we are asking on Let's Get Real, where do all these taxes go? There's another irony. On top of how much the state gobbles up when you buy a house, Gurgaon, Bengaluru and Mumbai also generate over 60% of the economic activity in their respective states. They are literally the cash cows. They're also the kings of real estate. In real life, they come across as poor global cities, gasping for breath every monsoon due to flooded streets and civic collapse. There is no audit, there is no accountability, and no benchmark of how much of the money collected from citizens is plowed back into making these cities livable. Bottom line, unless civic and municipal authorities are held accountable, unless there is full transparency in how taxes collected are being spent, we will continue to see loss of life and property. The fixed share of taxes collected from cities must be reinvested in the city. Unless we insist on a proper implementation of 74th Constitutional Amendment that was meant to empower cities through decentralized governance, we are looking at a bleak quality of life in India's top cities. This amendment, which very few know of, exists only on paper, but it is there, and we need to demand that it gets implemented. Let's get real. Urban local bodies answer to chief ministers, not citizens. They're not even answerable to the mayors, a largely ceremonial post. So unless we demand change, demand that cities get their fair share, demand that taxes be spent in a city's upkeep, our money will keep disappearing into a black hole. Thanks so much for watching.